Hello? Hello?
ฮัลโหลค่ะ
Yes. How are you? Hello ทุกคนได้ยินไหม Can you hear me?
ได้ยินค่ะอาจารย์
Oh, that's good. All right. So it's the class discussion week, right? It's the week 2 class discussion week. So let's try this one first. Can you change the background?
มันเพิ่มพื้นหลังยังไงอะคะอาจารย์
Can you do it? I believe that your friends can do that, right? Ah.อย่างที่ทุกคนรู้นะครับว่า discussion เนาะมันก็มีเรื่องของทั้งการพูดการใช้ภาษานะครับไม่ใช่แค่เฉพาะเป็นเสียงอย่างเดียวเนาะมันก็ต้องมีเรื่องเกี่ยวกับ non-verbal and non-verbal communication ด้วยนั่นเองนะครับซึ่งทุกกลุ่มก็ต้องเปิดกล้องอยู่แล้วนะครับถ้าไม่เปิดก็แล้วแต่ก็จะได้ตามสภาพกันไปเนาะนะครับแล้วก็อย่างที่บอกนะครับว่าคะแนนก็จะเกรดตามที่ทุกคนทำนะครับมันก็มีทั้งภาพรวมแล้วก็ภาพรายบุคคลนะครับซึ่งใครทำก็ได้ใครไม่ทำก็ไม่ได้ก็ไม่รู้แล้วนะครับแล้วแต่นะครับซึ่งก็มันก็จะชี้แจงไว้ชัดเจนแล้วว่าอะไรยังไงอันนี้ก็แล้วแต่นะครับ อันนี้คือแจ้งให้ทราบแล้วนะครับ ว่าอะไรยังไงมันก็ขึ้นอยู่กับตัวพวกเราแล้วว่ายังไงแล้วกันนะครับอ่ะเหมือนเดิมเนอะนะครับ as usual นะครับ because we are conducting an online class so um, I'll just need to collect some data again as you know เนอะ that how you access this course เองนะครับ so I believe that you have seen it already it's have already posted นะ so let's go and complete the form first นะครับ and then we can come back and start our class discussion เนอะ are you back?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay. Hello. Today we are going to discuss about transportation and accommodations. If you want to share any ideas or comment about your country, you can open your microphone to talk with us. So let's start. Uh, did you know that Russia is the largest country in the world? And how do you think if we travel here? How would you travel to tourist attractions? And if you're looking for accommodation, where is the place you want to go? If you have information about different travel and accommodation, you will be able to compare the pros and cons to find the best for your trip. How about transportation in Russia, guys?
Russia is a densely populated country. This means that Russia must have mass transportation, which is ready to accommodate the daily commute of millions of people. Consequently, Moscow becomes well known as the capital city with one of the best quality public transport systems in the world. Therefore, traveling in Russia has nothing to be worried about. Also, there are other options for people to go around the city or between cities. Can you give some types of transportation in Russia?
Uh, yes, I know there are metro and SkyTrain. The metro is an underground electric transport system that facilitates passengers to travel various places. It can be reached quickly anywhere in the city. They are very punctual and cheaper than train. Also, Moscow is a city with a lot of traffic. People often from that many people take the metro to get their destination. And SkyTrain is monorail. The one in Moscow was only recently built compared to other transport vehicles. It's just a short line that is not accessible everywhere. Stations are usually located at major tourist attractions. Therefore, it's more suitable for tourists, making it less popular for ordinary passengers in Moscow. I know a little type of transportation.
I know a little bit about buses. Buses have many cars parked according to the sign. They are very punctual. In fact, Buses are mainly used for passengers in Moscow because the route covers almost every area in the city. It can be said that buses can reach everywhere more than the metro. Sometimes, if you take the metro, you may still have to take the bus.
I have some interesting type of transportation. Tramway electric trainless often runs on the main streets of the city. This is a public transport vehicle with fewer seats than normal public transport, and it only goes to certain area. But there are advantages. You don't have to face traffic jam because you don't have to run the red light, so the car will continue to drive. And taxi can be leased by hitchhiking on the roadside. When a car comes to pick up, you must tell the location and negotiate the price, which must be used primarily in Russia.
And did you know there is also a guide wheel has variety of form the needs the transport system and the convenience of passenger in using the service. Divides into United Card, TAT Card, 90-minute card, and Troika Card. Russia is more convenient to travel than some countries that don't have a travel card system. Okay, that is all for traveling in Russia. How about transport in South Korea? Can a South Korea group explain this to me?
Well, in Korea we have a card that's called T-money card. We can use that card to travel by bus or the subway. We can use the public transportation in one card and just uh, get the money into it and use these cards all on the public transportation. What about other countries?
USA, do you want to share?
So So
Where is my face? So my group is USA and I want to share about my experience that I have been in USA as well. So mostly people there use a car, personally a car, and because it's a more convenience, you can go everywhere you want, anytime, something like that, and there is not use the public transportation that much because it's more expensive. Yeah, I think that is for our group.
In USA, is there any metro or SkyTrain?
I'm not sure about it, but I will find out later.
And transportation Singapore has one of the best public transport systems in the world. There are various train networks spread throughout the city area, and the bus network covers the rest. There are prepaid payment cards that are compatible with all systems, including some supermarkets as well, called the e-SIM card, which can be purchased in many places such as the airport. In addition, there will be a metro taxi that's charged fare according to distance, like our home, but there will be conditions for increasing the fare that are quite complicated. All in all, it makes traveling in Singapore is easy even for novice travelers.
Traveling by train will be the most popular method of travel because it is easy to understand, convenience, fast, and economical.
And then traveling by bus is one of the most popular way for travel after train because the pay is very cheap as well.
And next, you can go by taxi service, which is the most convenient way, but it's the most expensive, maybe suitable in some situations, especially if going with many people, maybe not much more expensive than other methods, or during the time when public transport service have been discontinued.
And the last, transportation in Singapore. Bicycle rental is another pretty good method. Many Singaporeans also like bicycle. And if we are going to travel in the city, we will not be far apart because Singapore is a relatively small island. You can easily cycle from one area to another, but I must say that the weather in Singapore can be as hot as Bangkok. It is quite hot and humid. Riding on a bicycle can easily cause you to sweat.
Okay, can I share about Korea again, South Korea? In my experience, Korea will focus more on subway and bus because they are much safer than our country. Do you know Thailand bus? So not like สาย8อะขับโคตรเร็วนะทุกคน and in my opinion like subway most is the most covered area in Korea. Like anywhere you can go to any place in Korea, like Hongdae, you can use subway, or you want to go to like place that as Seoul, the subway in Korea was covered over the country, not same as like Thailand that have only in the middle of country only. And I want to share about the ทางเท้ากับเพื่อนๆทุกคนด้วยนะครับ
Okay, I will share about the walkway in South Korea. There are a lot that use that the road will be narrow and the walkway will be wider. This you can walk on the walkway safely. It for your secure, and you know they have a light on their phone when the walker are walking on the walkway. They can cross line from the road for safety, and they also have a traffic light, and have a bottle that can call the officer if they are insecure, and if they are in the night, or they they like to travel at a club or something. I'm not sure, but if you push that bottle, it will contact the officer immediately. Okay.
ก็ที่เพื่อนพูดก็คือประมาณว่าแบบเหมือนมีหลอดไฟใต้เท้าครับคล้ายๆแบบว่าไฟจราจรเวลาข้ามถนนเล่นโทรศัพท์อยู่เนี่ยก็แบบไม่ต้องเงยหน้าขึ้นไปมองไฟจราจรก็ได้ก็เห็นเป็นสีเขียวสีแดงสีเหลืองเองเลยประมาณนั้นครับ Can I know more about transportation at Russia? Do you have any more?
So I want to share about transportation in China. So our group is like research and have two types of transportation in China. It's between city and inside the city. I will start with between the city. The most popular thing in between the city in China transportation is like the train. So the train in China have two types: it's ordinary train and high-speed train. The ordinary trains, there are have a business classes, the soft seat and the hard seat and stand ticket. The price are very different. So, and they also have like two-story price, like bed to sleep, and they are more expensive because like have more space, and the lower bed is always more expensive than the upper bed too. And the high speed train is also more expensive too. You can go anywhere you want in China because it's very easy. And the inside the city is the most transportation is the bike too. The bicycle sharing service is the one hottest sharing economy trend in China. In the research of transportation in China, is also see like the bike. Everyone interested to use the bicycle in China. Thank you.
And I want to share about transportation in Japan. Japan's public transportation system is the most modern in the world, especially the train system, which connects practically all the
country's locations. Domestic roadways and aviation service are likewise well developed.
For tourism in Japan, traveling fast is the Shinkansen, which is said to be more convenient and fast than plane because traveling by plane is a more complicated process. This makes travel by Shinkansen popular because it saves more time.
Another popular transport for tourists is train. Trains are definitely the most popular and convenient way to travel around Japan. Trains in Japan are known to be very punctual, and you can always expect trains arriving on time. The majority of the trains come every few minutes.
So Japan also has a highway bus. So highway bus is a special bus that take a passenger to their destination via highway. Sometimes overnight. It is a reasonable option to travel long distance for a low amount of money. The highway bus service has seen a tremendous improvement in the last couple of years, which made it possible for passengers to enjoy their long journey more comfortable. So you can book special seat with luxury chair and enough space to relax. Some seats have curtains or walls that offer privacy, even when you need to spend a night in the overnight bus. Taking a night bus also helps you start your trip efficiently as they are usually scheduled to arrive at destination early in the morning.
For commuting in large city, taxis are convenient and easy to use, but they certainly cost more than other means of transportation. Hell, a taxi can be summoned in the street or at a taxi stand Taguchi Noriba, which is located in front of the train station or tourist attraction. To call a taxi, not this that's the red light in the lower right corner of the windshield is on. Show that the taxi is free and ready to receive passengers. If it's green, it means that the car is busy or has someone booked in Japan. The taxi fare calculation is the same as in Thailand. It is calculated according to the middle price. Price start from 660 yen. It can cost 3,000 to 5,000 yen, and between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. the fare will increase by 33%.
Okay. Transportation of each country is very interesting. In addition to traveling that is important, you also need to know the types of accommodation before you go. If your accommodation is good, it will make you feel safe and enjoy the whole trip and make your trip memorable. If you have arrived here, there are also many famous international hotels in Russia, such as the French Hotel, Chase Accor Hotel, or the British Intercontinental Hotel Group, and also quality hotels that are not in any international chain, such as House on the uh, Sarah's Hotel is a hotel which are 17th century building in the museum grounds of the Rostov Kremlin.
There are also other types of accommodations, such as guest houses. It is an accommodation where the owner is converted or built to serve as lodging for tourists, which will be a small accommodation. There are few rooms and the price is cheap as they have all the necessary amenities. Guest houses in Russia can make extra money for accommodating the tourists.
I have a question. If I have a limited budget and I want to live there alone, only in my room, where should I go to stay?
I think that apartment is good choice for rent. Usually that these apartments are in the center of the city. They are cheaper and more convenient than hotels. There are several websites that offer apartments and can be booked online. However, it might bother you that owner usually only speak Russian.
In my opinion, a hostel is the best choice for me. Hostels are shared bedroom accommodation without en-suite bathroom. It is cheap and suitable for tourists with a limited budget.
If I want to go there for vacation, where should I stay?
There are vacation home in Russia, which is to home of selection. These houses are often found as the building which has separate room inside. Most of them are located in natural surroundings far from the city center. Usually, each complex has different types of house, from dormitory-style building to cottage. The price vary depending on the level of comfort. This complex usually has more activity to do than other accommodation.
Okay, I have a special accommodation in Latvia to tell you. That is sanatoria. Currently, some sanatorium vary across the country in terms of comfort, service, and cost. Many sanatorium are located outside the city center in beauty natural areas in the forest, by the sea, or in the presence of natural springs. In the past, people were sent to hospital to recover from illnesses in the natural surroundings. You can usually only stay there for 1, 2, or 3 weeks, and meals are usually specially chosen for health reasons.
So, we can see that in Russia there are various types of travels and accommodations that you decide to choose for your trip plan depending on your travel lifestyle and the type of accommodation and transportation. So, for example, if you have a tight budget, you may choose the cheapest trip and the best value room. So may I ask you as a group, what kind of accommodation do you choose to stay in when you go to Russia?
I choose vacation home because I want to relax and do activities.
How about South Korea group? If you come to Russia, what types of accommodation do you want to stay in?
Maybe I want to stay. I want to stay at guest house because it's more cheaper than any place in Russia. But I need to talk Russia too if I want to sleep at guest house. Is right? Like if I want to sleep at guest house, I need to speak Korea. I need to speak Russia too. It have a lot of Russia people. It's kind of like that. Or I need to share to another someone.
No matter how you where you stay, I believe that it's like quite like if you go for something more local, you know what I mean, right? If you go more local, so you got like you got some more experiences, and I guess you can use body languages, right? Physical communication to try to get like, okay, I want to get that something like that. So because I can give you some more like the if you're asking me, I can give you some more experiences when I as you guys knows that I live in Taiwan, right? I live in Taipei, and I travel from time to time, and I also travel with low budget. And when I travel with low budget, so I prefer choosing like hostel or like cheap hotels. And when it turned out that the cheap hotels, the owner, they are like quite local, and they couldn't really speak English. So I ended up like using gestures and my physical expressions to ask for almost everything. But it's quite like, but again, it's just like, because I stayed in like very cheap hotel, right? And the owner was quite local and unable, they were unable to speak English. But if I believe that if you go for something local like the like guest house or hostel in Russia or in South Korea, something like that, so you might have a good experience on local experiences, I guess.
Yes.
And to address you guys just a little bit of the I think the first question you left so far, you asked like the about the SkyTrain trains in the States, right? Right? That you address and still remain unanswered. So I can initially get you some ideas about that. It's a little bit like the of course, in the States they have sky trains and subways in major cities. In major cities that, for example, I can say just like in major cities, like I'm talking in the States in general, no? And major cities that you can see like the New York, Atlanta City, and the what else? in other major cities. So mostly they have sky trains. Like if you compare, if you see some cities like in Bangkok, something like that, you know, you can relate, right? You can relate. Like if they have some big buildings and they have like some called all bridges and very high density of population, something like that. So they tend to have sky trains. And like your friend said, obviously, people in the States, they don't like taking public transportation. Like your friend share. Yeah, right. Because they think that public transportation is a little bit, well, unacceptable in terms of prices and service, cleanliness. If you see in the movie, right, you can relate that. If you see in the movie like Subway in New York, it's rather filthy and dangerous, right? Oh, in Chicago as well, right? In Chicago, so you see a lot in the movie, right? Chicago, New York, Florida, right? Now you see these cities, right? These cities, and then you can just relate on that type. And yeah, if they live further away from the city, or if they live in less urban counties, I would say, so they drive all the time. And if you ask me, I can share just a little bit because I live in New Hampshire. It's extremely natural, and my city, my small city that I lived in is quite remote from the urbanization, I would say. Because my city, the city that I lived in, it was like the city that most people pass through. Like they stop by to get food, something like that. Go to the other places. So it's quite that. So they drive all the time. They drive all the time. Even though I had a funny story that even they go to the next store. You know what I mean? It's just like the gas station is on the left, and next to the gas station is a fast food restaurant. Some people, they don't really walk there. They just walk out of the convenience store, get into their car, and drive to the fast food restaurant. You know what I mean, right? I was like, seriously? You just walk there 5 minutes. You don't have to start the engine. You just walk there. They don't. They drive there. I was like, okay, good thing. All right. That's what I would like to share just a little bit. And if you want to know more, just ask me. No? I can share more because I just want to hold my tongue. I don't want to talk that much. Anyway, so when I heard your question, so I was like, I want to say something, but no. Just give you some time. Okay. Don't let me speak now. The more I speak, it's gonna be like everything is dominated to me. Don't let me speak. Don't let me start, please. But if you ask, so I have some more things to share. My experiences, because I both live in Asia. I would say I both live in countries in Asia, in Europe, and in the States, in the North American areas, something like that. So I can just share you some of my experiences if you want to know more. when it comes to accommodation and transportation, it can link to motivation when people travel as well. I want to add something, but yeah, I just keep my mouth shut just a little bit. The more I talk, the lengthy I would be.
Can I share about body language at Korea?
Yeah.
My friends have experience in Korea. Yeah, and I told them that we cannot speak Korea, so speak Thai to them, and you will talking together แบบเหมือนจะคุยกันรู้เรื่องครับ and it's like I'm told alright because when my friends say จะไปที่เนี่ยไปงานแข่งตรงเนี้ยแล้วลุงเลี้ยวซ้ายนะเปิด Google Map แล้วเนี่ยลุงเลี้ยวซ้ายเลยเสร็จแล้วand then the professor car and say oh okay okay this one this way okay some like that, but I cannot speak Korean. So good. I'm not bully them, but it is experience because you need if you cannot talk this language, you should to talk Thai to them. ไปนี่ครับลุงเลี้ยวซ้ายแล้วลุงจะเจอต่อหม้อแล้วลุงเลี้ยวขวาครับเลยเลี้ยวขวาไปเลยเสร็จแล้วลุงก็จะพูดแบบโหเยี่ยมมากเจ๋โหเยี่ยมมาก some kind like that, a little bit joke of them.
I can relate that. I can relate that because it happened to me when I was in Taipei as well. Because I would say even though I stay in Taipei for over a year, so I speak zero Chinese. Okay, so it happened to me as well when I want to get around in Taipei. It happens to me to a certain extent because it's just like in Taipei the bus is quite prevalent and it's quite connected. It's like I would say transportation in Taipei is quite very convenient, but to an extent I still have some linguistic barriers because I cannot read Chinese, I cannot speak Chinese. So when I sit on the bus, so I'm kind of like a baby. I don't know anything at all about that, but I just read the sign just a little bit like okay, and then I'll try to use my instinct to say like it's my stop. And if you ask my experiences, so I would go for this one. I would go for you guys, for you your own experience. You use your gestures, right? You use body language to tell that, then you say the words in Thai, right? For me, I asked my friend to write something in Chinese. And then every time I get on the bus, I just like show the driver and then point to that. And then I just like, yes, I want to go to this place. Do you pass that? I don't really know like the driver understand my language or not. But when they look at what I point on my paper, they just reply me in Chinese. And it's just like, okay, so I can go something like that. Yeah, but it's a little bit like, it's a little bit challenging, but it's fun though. And another experience saying this goes to when I was in France. That's quite, France is a little bit in different situation because in France, I went there and I want to take a bus to the city because I landed in the airport. At night, I asked the driver in English. I asked some questions like, okay, what time the bus leave and blah, blah, blah. They understood everything, but they replied me in French. But they understood everything in English. So that's another story as well that I have. Yeah, they chose to speak French rather just speak English in their country. So it's more like the one. It's a little bit. It's another example that you may experience it when you travel in the countries that they don't speak English as a major language. That's why I don't want to feel a little bit uncomfortable when I travel to Japan. Because I understand that when I travel to Japan, so it's gonna be something like this. And I speak zero Japanese as well.
It's kind of like กวนมึนโฮ drama in Thailand like รสชาติเยี่ยมมากเลยครับ and say to Korean people like this it's a joke no meaning anything
Teacher? Hello? Teacher?
Yes. Do you want to know more about my stupid experiences?
And I have a question and I want to ask you about, have you ever been to USA?
Yeah, sure.
What state do you have been to?
In the States, right? I've been States, right? States. If you say in the States, so I've been to New Hampshire. Everybody knows, just like when I talk to my friends about New Hampshire, so they say like, what the fuck are you doing there? That's like nothing. You wanna experience nature? That's nothing. Why do you go there? Something like that. So I went to I would say I went to the New England region. I would say the New England region is just like on the top right of the states. It's where where English people landed there first when they started the expenditure in the states. So that's just like New England, the New England region. So I've been to New Hampshire, Maine. Yeah, New Hampshire, Maine. Basically, I just travel around there. And if you don't, and I don't count when I just have to have connecting flights, because I don't count now. Because connecting flight, you don't experience anything, right? You just stay in the airport. You didn't see anything at all. So it's just like, because I have to stop over in Los Angeles and Chicago, but I didn't experience anything there. Yes.
That's cool. So I have been in Texas, and there is kind of like the roads there is impressed me because it's there have like a wide road. I don't know where that you have been is the same that I've been to. Like คือเหมือนแบบหนูอยากรู้แค่ว่าแบบที่ชิคาโกอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะแบบที่อื่นอย่างเงี้ยมันมีแบบถนนกว้างมากๆเหมือนที่หนูเคยไปไหม
I can tell because I travel between cities, and I give you some ideas about that. More, I think you can relate about that as well, because if it comes to like when you go on highways, right? When you go on highways, so you're gonna have like very wide roads, like because I came down to the major cities in New Hampshire as well. So it's just like the road. The road first it was quite small, like the 2 or 3 lanes, but when it gets to when we got near to the big city, so the road gets wider and wider and wider, and they also have like some like the towing machine and all this stuff as well. And I also see this one is quite funny as well, because I lived in the like the New Hampshire is quite a mountainous state, right? Naturally mountainous states, so the roads are more like the you went to the I believe that you travel, most of you guys travel to the north or the some mountainous parts in Thailand, right? So when you drive there, so you can imagine, you can relate, like roads are quite natural, and they have like the this one, they have like the space between roads, like on the left side and on the right side. And as you may see that police officers in the state, they are quite how can I say, furious, and they are quite stealthy, right? Sneaky, stealthy, something like that. That can I say? One of my experience is that when I was driving down to the major city, I saw that, because if you ask like the if you think about the space between road on the left side and on the right side, in and out, right? And left and right, I would say like the in and out of the city. There's some area in between, and I saw that the it's like the police car, they parked in the loop. I would say the loop, or the like the small hole between the small shallow pathway between roads. I would say they park right there. They don't care about their car. They just like their car is new, but they just drove down to the dirt and the woods and all the branches, and they stay there down there in order to like to capture like speed limits, or to try to follow people when they have accidents, something like that. And also that, my friend, unfortunately, my trip down to the city, we had an accident as well. We accidentally bumped into another car. And you know what? When we bumped to another car, 5 seconds after we bumped into each other, police came. You mean within 10 seconds, police came and parked right behind us. That was very fast, that they act on like these things. That's my experience as well on the road. And I also experienced the traveling back from the city, and then I stuck on the traffic for 1 hour without moving.
So
outside.
do you phone call them, or he comes just immediately?
What's that? Can you say it again, please?
So like they come because you call them, or they come just like immediately?
Oh, the police, right? After my incident, right? The bumping incident, right?
Yeah.
No, we didn't do anything. We just like accidentally bumped into another car on the road, like accidentally. We didn't call anything at all, because just both of us, like my car and another car, we didn't do anything at all. We just bumped into each other, and then we started to pull over. When we pull over, the cop showed up right away. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, that's what
แบบ
like
หนูชอบแบบการที่แบบเขาแบบเหมือนมีอะไรอะพวกเซฟตี้อะไรพวกเนี้ยเหมือนที่หนูเคยไปอะค่ะหนูก็ไปเป็นนักเรียนแลกเปลี่ยนที่นู่นใช่ไหมคะเวลาเขาแบบมีการแบบเหมือนเวลาเหมือนซ้อมไฟไหม้อะไรอย่างเงี้ยแบบพวกเซฟตี้อะไรเงี้ยเขาแบบดีมากๆเลยอะ
Yeah, right. And
แค่อยากแชร์เฉย
Yeah, I can tell you as well, because the reason that I was stuck on the road for hours, right? Because when I moved just a little bit and then I saw like in the movie, because they want to rescue someone by using a helicopter and like firefighters, they came roll down from the rope, something like that. It's just like in the movie, because my city, the area that I stay in is quite like mountainous area, right? And it happened like they have an accident, like somebody lost in the woods, something like that. So they search for people, and they also have accident on the road as well. Yeah, that's quite. If you are talking about like talking about their safety, their security reactions, something like that. So they're quite responsive, and it's similar to a certain extent, it's similar to what you saw in the movie, what you have seen in the movie. It's similar to that, so I can relate.
It's like the same thing that I've seen in the movie in high school. That is the exact everything.
Right? It's similar to that, right? They have quite like quite like bullying and all these things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
right?
one time I am cafeteria, and two guys have like a agreement, and everyone like surrounded them and go to like คือแบบประมาณว่ามีอยู่ครั้งหนึ่งอ่ะมันเหมือนแบบมีสองคนอย่างเงี้ยค่ะที่แบบเขาต่อสู้กันในคาเฟ่ทีเรียก็คือในโรงอาหารใช่ไหมแบบอาจารย์เขาก็จะไปช่วยแล้วคนนะก็มุงพอมุงเสร็จทีนี้เหมือนอาจารย์เข้าไปช่วยสรุปอาจารย์ก็คือคานออกมาอาจารย์ก็คือคาน yes it is ก็เลยแบบ oh my god it's so shock อะตอนนั้นคือแบบเหมือนแบบยังไงอะเหมือนไม่เคยเห็นในไทยอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะก็เลยเป็น kind of fun something like that
experience right experience
yeah แล้วก็เหมือนแบบเวลาแบบไปเรียนอย่างเงี้ยมันก็จะมีแบบล็อกเกอร์มันก็เหมือนแบบในหนังเลยประมาณนี้
Okay, so but you didn't get bullied or anything, right?
Not really but I เหมือนแบบมันมีอยู่ครั้งหนึ่งที่แบบเหมือนเราไปตอนแรกๆอย่างเงี้ยค่ะอาจารย์แล้วเหมือนแบบภาษาของเรามันยังไม่ค่อยแข็งใช่ไหมแล้วเหมือนเราพูดคำที่แบบเหมือนมันไม่ใช่ accent เขาแล้วเหมือนเขาแบบประมาณว่าแบบพูดเหมือนแปลกไปอะไรอย่างเงี้ยเหมือนพม่ามาอยู่บ้านเราอะไรอย่างงี้ปะหนูก็ไม่รู้เหมือนกัน
Yeah, I understand as well, because when I first got to New Hampshire as well, and my colleagues at workplace, they asked me a lot of questions. So it's just like they show that they are quite welcomed, but they, to a certain extent, I would say they kind of ignorant. I would say they kind of ignorant. They don't, because where I stay. It's just not because I didn't attend that at the I didn't go there as a high school student, right? I went there as in the other situation anyway, and they even asked me this one. But if you take it seriously, so you would feel like it's quite discriminating, and it's quite discriminating. They asked me, do you have McDonald's in Thailand? And they asked me as well, how do you get around? Do you still ride an elephant around?
That's it. I got that question.
You got that as well, right?
And it's so funny. Like แบบถามมาได้ไงแบบมีเก้าอี้ไหมอย่างเงี้ยบางทีหนูโดนถาม
Exactly. And then you know what? I show them my cell phone, and I say like, yes, my cell phone. I have 5 million pixel camera in my phone. What is yours? They show me their phone VGA cam, and then they just borrow my phone and then they show to other people. They just say like, look, it's like they have like digital camera in their phone. Look, I was like, okay, so now you know.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
something like
right.
that.
It's just like, okay, so please, you may stop asking me how this one, how my city looks like. But it's just like we are friends anyway, so they just like they ask me something like that, and then they see lot of they see lot of things that I brought there, so they was like it's because I would say that's not because they try to discriminate us or anything. It's not like that, because they don't really know. If I say they don't really know what outside their country, I would say, no, I want you to take like this perspective more than that, because do you watch a lot of shows, American shows and movies? Have you watched some American shows and movies? You may have heard that they always say like, this is the best restaurant in the world, something like that. You hear very often, right? If the show says from the stage, right? Or this is the best donuts in the world, across the world, something like that. So if they say so, sometimes they just say like America, the United States is their world. You know what I mean, right? Did you get my point? Yeah, some people in some cities, so they still think like the American is like the center of the world, something like that. So the world must follow them, something like that. So they're quite like they still have this kind of idea. Do you get my point? Do you get my point? Am I explaining too nonsensically? Yeah, but I have never been to any southern states.
But I understand them, because if I compare to my country and their country is different a lot แบบเหมือนแบบมันใหญ่มากแล้วของเราแบบมันเล็กแค่นิดเดียวอ่ะ
Exactly, that's why, and then we try to bring in lots of technologies, right? Into our city, we try to develop our country to make it more like to make it more advanced. I understand
and
that.
some state there is bigger than Thailand.
Yeah, but they look more natural than us, right? You feel the difference, right?
But they know the place, like for example, Pattaya or Phuket, something like that.
Yeah,
travel.
right. Pattaya and Phuket, it's just like what they feel like. Yeah, that's the places that we can go to, right? That they can travel to. And I don't want to stigmatize our own country. If you talk about Pattaya in Europe, you're gonna get some other attitudes. If you talk to Pattaya, and some of European people, they have some attitudes toward Asian people as well. That's my experience when I travel abroad. If you want to know, just let me know. I was approached by one European man, and it's quite like surprising to me to a certain extent. Yeah. When I was traveling from Finland to Brussels, and from Brussels back to Finland. Yeah. That's the experience in the airport. But the story will go differently, nah? I would say, but the story will go differently if you travel to Canada. Canada, it's more like I would say when you travel to Canada, even they are neighboring countries, right? Even though they are neighboring countries, Canada, they have different mindsets and how people look at people. So it's quite quite different because I lived in Toronto, major cities in Canada as well, and I feel differently when I live there. Comparing to my experience in the States.
And what is the difference? The people there?
Yeah, people there, they
like
are quite,
how they react to you, something like that.
they don't care. They accept multicultural people. They don't care, and you can talk to anyone on the street. You can ask them. They reply you nicely. They are willing to talk to you. They stop by and then they can talk. They can just that's quite different to me, no? Yeah, to my overall experiences. But in the state, it's more like if you are in the major city, so you feel a little bit like you have to be a little bit like alerted. I can feel my experience that because I lived in the very not very distant areas, right, from the major cities. When I first returned to Boston, because I had to catch a bus there, right? I had to catch a bus and catch a train there. When I returned to Boston to catch a flight, I felt a little bit insecure when I stayed in Boston. Because I lived in the small city in New Hampshire, I feel very secure. People don't lock the door. Even cars or houses, they don't lock the door, they don't lock the car. But in major city, I felt like it's quite insecure and dangerous to a certain extent. That's just a feeling, no? Because I stayed like in a very up country area.
So I'm stay with my whole family for 10 months, and I want to share that they not allow me to lock the door as well. And I don't know if it's a culture or not. เหมือนแบบประมาณว่าที่นู่นเขาก็แบบเหมือนเขาก็ไม่ค่อยล็อกประตูเหมือนกันอะไรประมาณนี้ค่ะ
Yeah, you live in Texas, but your area that you lived in is quite distant from the city, right?
Near Houston.
Or is it quite near Houston? But yeah, that's quite. I still don't understand as well why most of the area they don't lock the door. I don't understand this case. I don't understand. To be honest, I cannot give the answer. Thing is, yeah, to a certain extent, maybe just like the culture and how they trust the security system over there, something like that, and they think that that's not going to be some kind of criminalistic accident, something like that. So they tend to just leave the door unlocked, I would say. But my experience was that because we didn't lock the door, so the bear came in our house when I was in New Hampshire. The bear came in the room downstairs.
My situation is a bedroom, not the front door.
Oh, okay.
But you are the front door?
It's just not. They came in the house. It came in the house, into the house downstairs. We were luckily that no one down there. It was like slightly late at night, and we went to the party. And just one guy, he stayed there, and he just like he freaked out. He freaked out, and he just like ran to us, and then he just like told a story like, I saw the cringing, I saw the groaning of the bear downstairs, try to scratch the wall, something like that. I was like, oh my God. And even at our workplace as well, the bear came down and dig up the trash can. Yeah, something like that. We had that. So you can imagine like how natural our area was. Bear, squirrels, moose, I would say. Yeah, I even saw the dead moose once on the road. It died from the car crash in the middle of the road.
And I've been in Arkansas as well. It's เหมือนแบบเป็น mother host mom อีกทีหนึ่งแล้วมันค่อนข้างที่จะแบบ countryside นิดนึงอะค่ะอาจารย์แล้วมันก็เลยแบบเหมือนมีพวกเขากินพวกกวางเหมือนแบบหั่นกวางที่บ้านอย่างนี้เลยอะไรประมาณเนี้ยหั่นหมูอะไรเงี้ยมันก็ค่อนข้างที่แบบสยดสยองนิดนึงเพราะว่ามันแบบมันแขวนกับต้นไม้แล้วก็แบบผ่าเลยตรงนั้นเลยอะไรประมาณเนี้ยค่ะ
Oh, okay. My experience was that you ate deer, right? But for me, it was like just only deer. My experience was reindeer, no? When I was in Finland. You see the stupid reindeer, right? Santa Claus, something like that. Yeah, that's what in my stomach. That what was in my stomach already. I ate reindeer. No? But I didn't see all the process because people in Finland, they eat reindeer as well. That I can talk more about food. Yeah.
I've been eat deer as well, but I forgot the taste like.
Oh, okay. I still have that experience, so I can talk more about that when we are discussing about food and cuisine, no? National, international cuisines. Yeah. And people eat a lot of different culture. They eat they eat different food, nah? They eat different animals, right?
Right. Okay, thank you, teacher.
It's more like the United States dominated, no? But thank you very much for sharing your experiences. Okay, good. If you have any other experiences, it doesn't have to be your own selected country. You can ask, you can share, yeah, as well. Because I've seen from your passports that you guys have traveled somewhere, right? Some of you guys, I've seen that. And I know that I can put up something because I have read that some of you guys want to go to Finland, right? I don't know who wants to go there, but I have seen a couple of you guys talking about Finland as your favorite, as your on your wish list, your travel destination, right? Finland. Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut.
ขอแชร์นิดนึงนะคะคือหนูเคยเห็นแบบว่าตอนที่อาจารย์พูดว่าเรื่อง safety กับเรื่อง police ใช่ไหมคะคือหนูเคยเห็นในข่าวค่ะของไทยเนี่ยค่ะเหมือนแบบว่า มีคนเขาแวะปั๊มอะค่ะแล้วก็ไม่ได้แบบว่าไม่ได้ล็อกรถไว้แล้วเสร็จปุ๊บก็มีเหมือนโจรนะคะก็แบบไปขโมยรถอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะเราก็เลยแบบว่าเห็นตำรวจใกล้ๆแต่ว่าไม่ใช่ตำรวจแบบว่าตำรวจเป็นตำรวจจราจรนะคะแล้วแบบว่าไปขอให้เขาช่วยแต่เขาก็บอกว่าแบบมันไม่ใช่หน้าที่เขาอะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะมันก็เลยแบบว่าเอ้ยแบบตำรวจจราจรแบบว่าช่วยคนไม่ได้หรออะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะที่แบบว่าเคยเห็น
Oh, okay. So it's like the in the in the show, right? Because sometimes they have like the some situations that some people can get away from. They can get away with murder. I can use the expression, right? That's what you are trying to say, right? Right? Because they cannot help people as well. And yeah, it happens all the time. I would say when you see things like that, so it's just like what you might experience in that country anyway. But in the state, everything can happen. Everything can happen. Even now, you can see just like they still have, I would say, they still have the lost children in some states. They just like they happen to be lost. Yeah, and they still some have like the some getaway murders running around the countries, something like that, like in the movie, like in the documentary that you have seen. No? But anyway, if you want to experience that, go and experience it. And then you can see, go travel. It helps broaden your perspectives. You can see more. Because I would say I think I have traveled to different continents and I can relate many things from where I've been to. Because I've been to Europe, I've been to Australian islands as well. So to Asian countries, North America, Europe, Scandinavian areas. So yeah, they have totally different lives. And as we talk about like we're gonna talk more about this as well regarding cultures in our lessons later weeks. We're gonna talk about this as well. So you're gonna see why it plays the role quite a lot when it comes to travel. But I still want to go to Russia.
แบบฟังเพื่อนประเทศรัสเซียพูดแล้วก็เหมือนว่าไทยตำรวจมันใหญ่กว่าของที่อัยการอะไรเงี้ยเดี๋ยวว่าอย่างที่เกาหลีก็แบบว่าอัยการคือใหญ่ที่สุดแล้วก็เป็นคนคอยควบคุมตำรวจทีเหมือนพอเราเห็นในซีรีส์คือตำรวจทั้งหมดทุกคนก็คือเรียนกฎหมายกับอัยการไม่ได้เรียนกับตำรวจหรือว่านักกฎหมายไงครับคือเหมือนว่าอัยการในซีรีส์คือเราจะเห็นเลยว่าอัยการมีสิทธิ์ที่จะออกเสียงทุกอย่างทุกคดีความมีสิทธิ์ที่จะเข้าถึงทุกอย่างครับแบบว่าไม่ใช่ตำรวจที่เป็นคนต้องสืบหาคดีนะครับตำรวจมีหน้าที่เพียงแค่อำนวยความสะดวกให้ครับแต่ทั้งหมดคืออัยการเป็นหลักคือมันต่างจากเราที่อัยการอยู่ข้างใต้ตำรวจอีกทีหนึ่งครับเหมือนว่าพอเห็นเพื่อนแชร์ก็เลยอยากจะแชร์ให้ฟังแต่ว่าที่เกาหลีมันก็ระดับขั้นมันก็จะเป็นแบบนี้ครับเลยถึงเห็นว่าการคอร์รัปชันของตำรวจจะค่อนข้างน้อยกว่าประเทศที่เป็นแถบนี้ครับ
Okay, because they have differently legal systems, no? And I would say if I can give you example, so it's quite different as well. If we talk about like legal system in the States and in Thailand as well, they have different because in the state they have their legal system based on county, not country, county, county. counting is just like they have like the independent governmental system. So it means that if you live in Los Angeles, so you may have different law from you live in New Hampshire, something like that. Yeah. And you know what? Oh, if you talk about law, no, I just yeah, we're gonna talk about law just a little bit in that. But the in Japan they have different speed limit, no? You know that, right? In Japan, no? About driving speed limit, something like that. They have lots of high-speed cars and all those stuff as well. But police, to a certain extent, they will stop chasing fast car for some reasons. Can you keep me stop talking? The more I talk, I just like pouring things out, like a broken dam. Okay, so I give you floor. I'll give the floor back to Russia. Okay, so you want to carry on about transportation and accommodation? I don't think we are talking more about accommodation and transportation at all. We are talking more about like living. Okay. Okay. In my states, in my experience, I have an experience on the campsite as well. If you are talking about accommodation, one night we went out and we have a camp. We go camping at a campsite. It's what quite experience, and as you might have seen in the movie, American people, when they go camping, the thing that they cannot forget to bring along is s'more. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it is? S'more. It's the it's like a camping s'more, just like they grill marshmallow and eat with crackers and chocolate. S'more. Yeah, that's the thing. And we did that as well when we went camping. Okay, Russia. I'll keep my mouth shut for now. Sorry.
Is there any country you want to share about the accommodation?
Can Korea talk first? In South Korea, we have some kind of bird like apartment too. So travel like me, like I think like apartment too mean apartment, you know, like that, some kind of that. เหมือนว่าพอเราได้ยินคำว่า apartment ถือจากคนเกาหลีครับเราจะเข้าใจอ๋อมันคือ apartment แน่เลย but it's not kind of like that. If you were hoping like you will find a cheaper apartment when you hear apartment, it's not like that. Apartment in Korea mean condo, luxury condo เลยนะครับแบบ like actually a luxury condo for the rich people. If you say apartment and you hear that, yeah, so don't believe Korean people when they say apartment and it's very cheap, like 5,000, not 5,000 won, $5,000 for week or for day or so per month, some kind like that.
Okay, so I can relate that as well. So I can relate this just a little bit that it may expand from these things as well now, because you know that in Thailand nowadays that when people travel or stay in Thailand in the major cities, so you know that we have another accommodation that we offer to the tourists, right? We offer a rental apartment to tourists as well. Do you know that? It's quite, you may not know about that because people, some people here in Thailand, they turn their luxurious apartment to rent out for some tourists. And mostly some tourists targeted among Chinese tourists. Yeah, they came, they share apartment. They just like they bought apartment like the you see like the Lumpini condo or something like that, right? They bought the apartment and then they share the they just rent out the apartment to tourists. That's when you talk about the what do you call it again? Apartment something, right? In Korea, right? In South Korea, something like that, right? So I can relate. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like I can relate how it's just like that, and then how they call accommodation differently. Yeah, but thank you, Raf, for raising the awareness that, see, when you travel to different countries, so you can see, right, how they call apartment, how they call their accommodation can mean something differently, right?
So we are from USA Group and we have 20 accommodations to recommend for you guys. What is his man?
Yes, I would recommend Smortes the Wally, standing as one of North America's most luxurious resort with good service, grand space, finishings, and or detailed cover in style. It seems perfectly placed, but it's the most luxurious, so the clothes would be more expensive too.
Uh, and I also have holiday accommodation as well. The name of hotel is Four Seasons Hotel at the Surf Club. It's in the northern Miami Beach on Colin. Our new feature include on-site restaurant, beach and pool area, a holistic spa, fitness center, and kids club, and offered Four Seasons Hotel Surf Club room. Some rooms have balcony with an ocean or city view. It looks very relaxing. Um, I recommend it to you.
How about the China group?
Yeah, I want to share hotels in China. Although there are many types of accommodation in China, it can reduce the popularity of hotels because not only the convenience is safe, but also the safety is higher. And Some hotels also have sculpture or contemporary decorations or service that are very comfortable as well. And I want to recommend homestay in China. In China, traveling in a camp at a villager house to learn the way of life of the local people. One place that is popular will be give example. Lijiang Longya Homestay is located in Lijiang Old Town, only 5 minutes from Jinhong Road, where your coast station is station free Wi-Fi. Access is available in this homestay.
Japan, would you like to share accommodation in your country?
Yeah, I would like to share about Capsule Hotel. Is Capsule Hotel is interesting and different from other countries. It is a unique accommodation in Japan that is cheap. They are often near the train station and various tourist attractions. The room are arranged in rows of small square แบบว่ามันจะเป็นแบบแถวที่มันจะเป็นแถวแบบแนวนอนเป็นช่องเล็กๆให้เราแค่แบบนอนได้แค่คนเดียวอะไรอย่างเงี้ยก็ The side of each room only has space for a mattress. Is a great choice for people looking for an overnight mattress at an affordable price and people who need to find emergency accommodation in case they can't find accommodation ก็แบบว่าแบบมันจะเป็นตัวเลือกสำรองที่แบบนักท่องเที่ยวคนไหนที่แบบเขาหาที่พักไม่ได้จริงๆอ่ะอันนี้ก็จะเป็นตัวเลือกที่ดีที่แบบให้เขาได้เข้าไปพักเพราะว่ามันแบบโอเพน24 ชั่วโมงค่ะ
And when you go to Japan, I recommend accommodation is เรียวกังเพื่อนรู้จักเรียวกังกันไหม Japanese เรียวกัง can range from the traditional to modern form sparring resort to private villa onsen เรียวกัง to Uber common element to this most of จะเป็นมีชื่อเสียงมากของญี่ปุ่นนะก็คือ most of Japanese accommodation however are tatami flooring ก็คือนอนกับพื้นนะเป็นที่พักที่เหมือนนอนกับพื้นแล้วก็มี wooden bedding ก็คือนอนบนฟูกแบบคนญี่ปุ่นสมัยแบบโบราณที่เขานอนกัน private bath หรืออาจจะเป็น outdoor ในบางครั้งแล้วก็มีyukata robe sometimes in-house kaiseki multi-course dinner and a traditional
Japanese breakfast. For some visitors to Japanese, stay at an authentic ryokan, offering to the chain to experience local hospitality and personal มีเซอร์วิสที่ดีอยู่นะแบบว่าเขาค่อนข้างมีความเป็นส่วนตัวแล้วก็คนส่วนใหญ่สมมุติถ้าอยากมาพักผ่อนที่นี่ก็จะเลือกที่เนี่ยเป็นลำดับต้นๆเลยเพราะว่าแบบอยากที่จะมาสัมผัสความเป็นญี่ปุ่นแท้ๆเราจะต้องนอนฟูกนะทุกคน
ขอแชร์นิดนึงนะคะคือเหมือนแบบว่าในไทยก็เหมือนที่เพื่อนพูดเมื่อกี้เคยเห็นแบบว่าเป็นโรงแรมแคปซูลเหมือนกันค่ะที่เชียงคานเหมือนแบบว่าสร้างมาจากแบบรับวัฒนธรรมมาจากญี่ปุ่นแล้วก็มาสร้างเป็นโรงแรมแคปซูลเหมือนกันที่ไทยค่ะเคยเห็นเหมือนกัน How about Singapore? Do you want to share?
I believe that in Thailand we have like the some kind of capsule accommodation or kind of transparent ball accommodation in the northern part of Thailand as well, right? Just like the like up in the mountains, and they have like the like a transparent ball next to the hill, something like that, and then you can see the entire view, like mountainous view from the top part of the city, something like that. I don't know now because I have seen like the some kind of unique accommodation in Thailand, but I believe that's in the northern part, right? If you're saying something like that, that's the another thing that you can check out if you like traveling. Now you can travel, right? But still with a mask. Yeah. So, but at least, try to take this advantage, opportunity to travel. Okay. So, do you have any more to share? I know you are listening and then you are tired, right? Listening to a little bit tired. Are you tired? Yeah. Okay, so shall we end the discussion here? Okay. So thank you very much for sharing your ideas and your experiences. Now I hope this discussion to a certain extent useful anyway. And we're gonna have something to talk about just a little bit after this, so you can get some break. Okay, let's take a quick break. Okay, and we come back and we can talk further about what we're about our lessons. Okay. Okay, let's have a quick break and then we can return like around 3 or something. Quick break, get some refreshments, something to snack, something like that. Okay. See you after the break. Are you back?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. You feel refreshed?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, right? So anyway, I have something for you to just for fun, no? Because next unit we're gonna talk about and food and shopping, right? So it's gonna be quite satisfying to a certain extent. But today, just because we still talked about the accommodation and transportation, so I have something for you, just for fun. Okay, let's see if you can remember anything from this. Okay, just for fun. Okay, so I'll share the screen with you in a minute. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, go there.
Can you wait me a minute because I have to download Kahoot again in iPad.
Okay, no problem. You can use the browser as well. Now you don't have to download the app.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
teacher.
you can use the browser to access. You don't need the app.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Just for fun, anyone. Right, it's possible, right? You can access Kahoot from the browser, right? Now we are having 25 people. More is coming. Okay, shall we start? Give me a sign. Shall we start? Shall we? ริ่มเลยไหม Okay, so let's start. 30 people. Okay. 31. Okay. So I believe we have 35, no? 31 should be enough for now. Shall we? เริ่มเลยไหม
เริ่มเลยค่ะ
Choose the one, the type of accommodation that that relate to what is described เนาะลองดูนะครับ the first one เนาะ okay let's see the second one. It's a little bit cramped. Okay, that's a little bit tricky, nah? So attached, right? So it's caravan. Wow, corgi. Okay, let's see the third one. Yes, it's a palace. Now King George III, right? Grandiose. The block we live now next to the station. House's apartment. Okay. Beat and act fast, nah? Okay, Koji, you return. Barracks, guard duty, right? When you see this one, it's quite easy. Now you see dragons, right? This one is a little bit difficult, huh? Get well soon, right? So it be hospital. it's a little bit tricky, and this one, right? But 1 year, 1 floor is bungalow, nah? It's 1 floor, they don't climb the stairs. Right. Countryside, in the countryside, so it should be a cottage. All right. And the last one. Hey, that's right. Log cabin, huh? Right. Escape. Let's see. Okay. Thank you very much. Just for fun, just to remind you just a little bit about the accommodation นะฮัลโหลเป็นไงทุกคนยากไหม Is it difficult
ทุกอย่างมันเกิดขึ้นไวมากค่ะ
ทุกอย่างเกิดไวมากอะไรก็ไม่รู้ใช่ไหม
มันเร็วมากเลยค่ะอาจารย์
โอเคเดี๋ยวไว้ข้างหน้าจะปรับนิดนึงแล้วกันเนาะแต่นี่พอรู้ไหมมีคำถามสงสัยไหมกับคำศัพท์ที่เห็นใน accommodation มีไหมจำกันทันไหม
จำไม่ทัน
มันก็เป็นชาวเป็นคำถามชาวนิดหน่อยเนาะนะครับก็อย่างน้อยก็ได้แบบเฮฮาเนาะขำๆไปแล้วกันแบบสนุกกับ accommodation อะไรแบบนี้เนาะนะครับแล้วก็นี่แหละอันนี้ก็คือส่วนหนึ่งของ accommodations ที่อยากจะแบบโอเคพูดกันก็หวังว่าที่เรามาแชร์ไอ้นี่กันก็น่าจะได้ผลประโยชน์กันเนาะว่าแบบโอเคมีประโยชน์กันในเรื่องส่วนนี้นั่นเองนะครับมีคำถามสงสัยไหม Do you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding accommodation and transportations มีไหมทุกคนยังอยู่ไหม Are you there
ยังอยู่ค่ะ
ทุกคนเหนื่อยหมดแล้ว
ไม่มีคำถามค่ะ
ไม่มีอะไรค่ะ
Okay นะครับ so if you don't have anything เนาะ so next week นะครับ next week we approach to the new units เนาะ and then I would like to tell you first as you may have seen from the course syllabus I'll show you again just to remind that how we go along with it นะครับ so wait เนาะ I cannot share the screen please wait just a little bit share the preview I'll just share it from the screen here So do you see the course syllabus? Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just be reminded that because we have quite tight schedule now with all the holidays and all those stuff. Now you see, right? We're gonna have the holidays on the 7th and another 3 holidays coming up here. Now 14, 15, and 18. So we have to push some lesson just a little bit. So next week from this one now we're gonna move down here. We're gonna talk about food and entertainment next week, and we don't have formative test here. Okay, the formative test here we're gonna do it with the class discussion here. Okay, all together, just to be reminded that we're gonna move down here now on the week 8, week number 8. Okay, we're gonna have the first formative test. Okay, with a discussion. And also you have to submit the writing task later because we're gonna study about something about food and shopping on week 6 here. Then you have time to work on that, and then we're gonna have the formative test. You have time to study as well, and then we're gonna have formative test and the class discussion here. Okay? Are you following?
ทันค่ะ
โอเคเนาะอันนี้ครูก็อยากจะบอกไว้นิดนึงว่าสิ่งที่มันจะปรับเปลี่ยนกันนิดนึงนะครับแล้วก็เดี๋ยวท็อปิกตรงส่วนนี้เดี๋ยวมันก็จะ move กันลงมาอะไรแบบนี้แล้วกันเนาะครับ because I understand that you are a little bit tired already right ใช่ไหม or are you still okay
โอเคค่ะ
okay นี่คือ you still handle it you still have some conscious right
No, tired a little bit.
okay so no worries about that so we can talk about it we can talk about our next lesson later no because I don't want to just throw you lots of but if you're okay so I can just talk just a little bit about our lesson because I'm afraid that we may have some quite tight schedule ยังไหวกันอยู่ไหมอ่ะ
ได้อยู่ค่ะอาจารย์
โอ้ถามเพื่อนอ่ะเพื่อนๆว่าไงกัน
ไหวค่ะ
ได้อยู่ค่ะ
Okay, good. So I'm gonna have something to talk about it just a little bit, no? And then next week we can do activities all together. Okay, sounds good.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about just a little bit about this one. When we talk about food, okay, let's see. Because we're gonna start with the food. Okay, you see my slides, right? Hello?
Yes, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. When we talk about food, so there are many food that we can go for about when it comes to travel. When it comes to travel, so we can have lots of food. We can that food, I would say food is one of the inspirations, right? One of the inspiration that motivate people to travel around. Okay. So when we are talking about food, so we cannot get away from that as well. We cannot obviously we cannot get away from trying different kinds of food. Okay, so I want you to go and listen to 3 people talking about food first. Okay, then can you answer these questions? Okay, I'll just send you the message in the chat box. and then let me try how to send the message. Okay, so you see that I can send the message here. Okay, there are 3 people talking about foods. Okay, and then I'm gonna have questions to ask you.
อย่าลืมทำอันนั้นนะ
อาจารย์คะกดเข้าลิงก์ยังไงนะคะ
กดเข้าไปเลยอะครับที่กูกดไปกดไม่ได้เหรอกดได้ปะที่กูส่งเข้าไปให้ในแชทอะ
ถ้าเข้าแชทในนี้มันเข้าไงคะแบบไม่เคยใช้
มีไหมมันจะมีรูปเป็นรูปข้อความ message อยู่เป็น conversation อะมีปะ
ไม่มี
รูปแบ
ค่ะ
บ
ของหนูก็ไม่มีช่องแชทเหมือนกัน
แบบของหนูมันเป็นแบบ3 จุดแต่ว่ามันไม่มีคำว่าแชทอะค่ะ
มีคำว่า conversation ไหมครับมีปะ
ไม่มีค่ะ
ไม่มีค่ะ
Okay, don't worry about that นะครับ so we can just go I'll just show you the link how can I send how can I send this one so do you still have the link to our Miro right งั้นครูแก้ตรงนี้ได้ไม่มีปัญหา you think how to get to the Miro right มีไหมยังมีลิงก์อยู่เก่าไหมที่ไปเข้าไปที่ Miro ยังมีอยู่ปะSo you can get into my role now. I can send you the link as well to my role now. This one.
อาจารย์คะถ้าสมมติว่าแบบครั้งหน้าอาจารย์ส่งให้ในไลน์อย่างนี้สะดวกไหมคะ
ลิงก์ใช่ไหมครับ
แบบพอดีบางทีไมโลอย่างนี้หนูต้องเข้าไปในคอมอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ ถึงจะเข้าได้
อ๋อคือไมโรหนูเข้าจากโทรศัพท์ไม่ได้จาก iPad ไม่ได้เหรอครับหรือว่าไง
มันต้องโหลดอะไรอย่างนี้ไหมคะมันหนูเข้าในเว็บ
มันเข้าจากเบราว์เซอร์ได้นี่ไมโรอ่ะใช่ไหมเห็นจากหน้าจอกูปะเดี๋ยวกูจะเอาลิงก์ไมโลไปแปะไว้ใน Google Classroom ให้ด้วยละกันเนาะนะครับอันนี้ก็เดี๋ยวลองดูเพื่อนๆไปก่อนละกันเนาะยังไงก็ได้นิดๆหน่อยๆครับไม่น่าจะมีแล้วเป็น activity เล็กๆน้อยๆเองเนาะโอเคเนาะ for those who have listened to already เนาะ so can you just go and guess match no you can drag the flag I would say you can drag the flag no over different kind of foods here no think there are 6 nations no 6 nations that you can drag along no drag the flags over here and then you see which one should be in which country. Yeah, you can do that. I can just make it small, a little bit smaller as well. Okay, if you want that.
อาจารย์มีลิงก์ไหมคะ
Okay, just wait now. I'll just post it. Let me post it right now in our class. Okay, and I'll do it later properly, you know. Here, in the link. Yeah, but anyway, just guess, no? So you said that this one is the for Mexico. Now this one obviously you can see that from Japan. Okay, this one from India. Okay, for this one, and this one. So are you sure about that? Okay. So thank you very much for this. I believe that you have listened to that as well. And I have some questions to ask you about this thing as well. Okay. When we go back to our slide here. Okay, so you can see that, right? So you can see different foods now. They represent different nationalities, right? And you can see like this one, you may have sometimes it's like national food, so you can talk about different kind of dishes now. So this one is from Mexico, now we call taco, and Japan, you know, sushi, you know, sashimi, whatever. And this one Indian food, so they have like curries and naan. They have it. And this one from what country? for these 3 countries here. Do you know these 3 countries?
No.
No, this one. So obviously you see this one, Turkey, no? And you may have seen things like this at the Chatuchak Market or Patu Nam, no? So you may just see like doner kebab, no? These 2 countries, this one is Poland and this one is Peru, no? So one of their food is called bigos, no? Bigusto,นะครับ Bigustu, no? And this one is ceviche. นะครับเป็น the national food that you can see. So you see that when you see food, right? When you see food, so you may, and I have the question to ask you. When you see food and when you ask people, or when you travel and then you want people to know, or when you want people to try food, how do you describe food? How do you tell people about food? What do you think? What do you think? How do you describe food to people?
Describe what it tastes like.
Okay, so from taste, okay.
For example, Thailand is going to be spicy food, something like that. Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. So you can describe by taste. Anything else?
Color.
Color, okay.
Ingredients.
Okay, ingredients, okay.
Flavor.
Unique.
Flavor, taste, okay.
Unique of Thai food.
What's that? Again, please.
The unique of Thai food.
Okay, the uniqueness, right? The uniqueness, okay. So in general, when you describe food, that's correct. You can describe these things all together, okay? I'll just give you a summary of that and then we can talk about it later. We can do the activities later, no? So we talk about food, so we can talk about these 2 things, okay? Big 2 thing is when we talk about food, so we can talk about ingredients and preparations. So there are different ways and different ingredients that can be incorporated into help you describing or into making foods, okay? And another way that we can easily use to talk about food is we describe by using passive, okay? We can use the passive to describe food, okay? Okay, we use present passive to describe food. You know passive, right? Passive is a structure that that's focus on the result of the sentence. Okay, the result of something. We don't focus on the cause of something. So we use passive because when we describe food, we don't know. We don't care about who made it, who make it. We don't care about that. We care what we see, right? What is inside of that? Okay, so use present passive to talk about it. Okay, and the structure is this, okay? The subject is like the food that you want to talk about, and then you use present simple of be, and then you use past participle or verb 3 to talk about it, okay? You can talk about that, okay? And that's quite a process as well. You can use the present passive to describe the process. So we talk about the cooking method that we use prepare the food as well. So for example, just like schnitzel is served with potato salad, or the dish is cooked with potatoes and carrots, something like that. So you can try to use this thing too, because it's easy, it's obvious for you guys that you may talk about that already, that okay, I describe food based on the taste, I describe food based on the ingredient, I describe food based on what we see, we describe food based on how unique it is. So the unique, it can relate to ingredients and cooking methods as well. So you can just use this one. So you can just say like, if we are talking about like papaya salad in Thailand, so you can just say like, yeah, papaya salad is made of raw papaya and some chilies and whatever that can include that. It's from it's from which country is from which part of the country, or it is eaten with blah blah blah. Now it's eaten with sticky rice and grilled chicken, something like that. So you can use that one as well, okay, in describing. Are you following นะครับในการที่เราบรรยายเนี่ยอย่างที่เพื่อนพูดมานั่นแหละเพื่อนเราก็พูดว่าในการที่บรรยายอาหารเนี่ยเราก็พูดได้2แบบเนาะเราก็จะพูดถึงสิ่งที่มันเป็นว่าเราก็จะใช้ present passive ในการบรรยายออกมาเพราะว่าอย่างที่เราบอกมานั่นเองเนาะฟู้ดก็พูดได้ถึงว่ามันรสชาติเป็นยังไงเนาะอันนี้ง่ายๆเลยก็ใช้ present ธรรมดาในการบอกเลย it's spicy it's sweet อะไรพวกนี้ที่เราใช้ว่าไปได้เลยครับแต่ถ้าเราจะใช้เป็นพวก ingredient หรือว่าเป็นพวก cooking method อะไรพวกนี้ละเราก็ต้องใช้ในโครง passive เพราะว่า passive มันจะใช้ในการที่เราไปเน้นผลที่มันเกิดขึ้นเราจะไม่ไปเน้นสิ่งที่มันเป็นสิ่งที่จะไม่ไปเน้นสิ่งที่ว่ามันเกิดขึ้นได้ยังไงใครทำอะไรขึ้นมาเราไม่ไปเน้นที่คนทำเราเน้นที่ผลนั่นเองนะครับก็คือโครงสร้างก็จะเป็นแบบนี้ที่บอกไปโครงสร้างก็คือจะเป็น subject บวกด้วย present simple of be แล้วก็ past participle นั่นเองหรือ verb ช่องที่3นั่นแหละที่เราจะบอกเราก็จะบอกได้ในตามที่โครงสร้างตัวอย่างที่ครูให้มาเนาะอย่างเช่นแบบเนี่ย schnitzel is served with potato salad or you can say like the bingsu is served with fruits and condensed milk, something like that, no? Or you can eat fried rice with, now fried rice can be eaten with fried rice can be with green curry, something like that. So you can do just that as well. Or you can just say like the this hamburger is made from plant-based meat, something like that. Now you can just use this one to describe as well. And also, if you cannot work on that thing, so you can describe another thing by using relative clauses. อันนี้ครูก็ว่าพวกเราก็น่าจะพอเข้าใจได้บ้างเนาะนะครับ because when use, do you know relative clauses, right? Who, which, and that. It is used to describe นะครับ it is used to describe when you have questions like what is schnitzel, okay, what is your nationality dish, okay, and you cannot tell the name, something like that. So you want to describe the nationality dish by using this one. So you can use relative clauses to give more explanation. But in relative clause, there are two types of relative clauses. The first one is non-defining. Non-defining, what does it mean by that? Non-defining means the rest of the sentence or the clause here, relative clause, if it's non-defining, it means that it's unnecessary, but you just want to give some more explanation about it. Because if you look at this, I really love sushi. Everybody knows sushi. You don't need any further explanation for that. But you want to attach like, I really love sushi, which is our national dish. This one you just added. But if you cross out here, you still understand what it is, what they are talking about. Are you following? ในการที่เราจะบรรยายต่อมานะครับ ถ้าเราตามอยู่ใช่ไหม ถ้าเราไม่รู้ว่าตรงนั้นมันคืออะไรเลย เราก็เขาจะใช้ relative clause ในการขยายความออกมานั่นเองนะครับ ในการขยายความทำให้เราเห็นมากขึ้น แต่ relative clause เนี่ยมันจะมี2แบบก็คือ relative clause ที่ non defining กับ defining ก็คือมันที่มันจำเป็นกับไม่จำเป็นนั่นเองนะครับ ถ้าเรามองเห็นในประโยค2ประโยคนี้ซูชิใช่ไหมซูชิมันก็คือทุกคนรู้อยู่แล้วว่าซูชิคืออะไรยังไงนะครับแต่ประโยคหลังที่เอามาต่อกันเสร็จปุ๊บพอมันมาขยายตรงนี้เสร็จปุ๊บมันกลายเป็น non defining เพราะอะไรเพราะว่าคำว่าซูชิมันไม่จำเป็นมันมีความหมายอยู่ในตัวของมันแล้วตรงนี้มันเป็นแค่ส่วนขยายเข้ามาเพื่อที่ทำให้แบบมันดูว่ามีรายละเอียดมากขึ้นอะไรแบบนี้เข้ามานั่นเองแต่ถ้าบอกแค่นี้ก็เข้าใจอยู่แล้วเขาต้องการที่จะเพิ่มรายละเอียดอันนี้คือหลักการใช้ของ non defining เนาะตามทันไหมเอ่ยโอเคทันค่ะwhich นะครับที่เราจะใช้ก็จะใช้ refer ถึง things เป็นแค่สิ่งของเนาะแต่เราจะใช้ในทางกลับกันนะครับ who ตัวเนี้ยเราก็จะใช้ที่หนูก็พอรู้อยู่แล้วเนาะ who จะใช้เกี่ยวกับคนเนาะนะครับก็อย่างเช่นตัวนี้เนาะ Turkish food is popular among tasters นะครับ who visit regions as part of their holiday นะครับเป็นอะไรประมาณนี้นะครับอันนี้คือ non defining แต่หลักการ non defining กับ defining จะใช้เหมือนกันก็คือใช้ตัวคล้ายกันหมดเลยนะครับส่วนในทางกลับกันนะครับ that in the นะครับใน in the sentence เนี่ยนะครับถ้าเป็น non defining จะบอกไว้ก่อนเลยนะครับ separate by a comma นะถ้าเป็น non defining นะครับเวลาเขาใช้เนาะนะครับเพราะว่ามันสามารถละได้แล้วไม่จำเป็นจะต้องอ่านหมดก็ได้แบบนี้นั่นเองนะครับโอเคแต่ if you look at these sentences นะครับ if you look at this when we talk about this one นะ tagines are the pots อย่างเงี้ยถ้าหนูเจอแค่ประโยคนี้ประโยคเดียว you may not understand that for sure right ถ้าเจอประโยคนี้เราคงไม่เข้าใจแน่ๆมันคืออะไร tagine มันคืออะไรนะครับ so that's why we need relative clause ที่เป็น which is defining นั่นเองนะครับ defining คืออะไร necessary ครับ because if it comes alone here a tagine is a pot you may have broad ideas what it is what you are talking about นะครับ so we use this one we use defining ก็คือเราก็ใส่เหมือนเดิมนั่นแหละใส่เข้ามาเพื่อที่จะให้มันรู้ว่าเพราะว่าตัวเนี้ยมันจำเป็นจะต้องมีเพราะว่า if you are talking about just only the first sentence here you may have very vague idea about what you are talking about อันนี้ฟังคุณทันตามคุณทันไหมเอ่ยฮัลโหลทันค่ะทันเนาะคุ้นอยู่ไหมได้อยู่ค่ะโอเคนะครับในส่วนนี้เนาะ look at another example ในส่วน tester are tourists บางที tester and tourists are interested in food เนี่ย in the food of the region so when you talk about this when you talk about testers เนาะเป็น tourist อะไรล่ะ sometimes you may have questions like okay what who they are นะครับ so we just expand the tester who are interested only food okay testers because testers can be different things เนาะ can be tester wine testers นะ can be drink tester can be herbal testers can be different kind of testers but this one you want to indicate that tester are who just only interest food of the regional foods นะครับโอเคไหมมันก็เลยเป็นที่เป็น defining sentences ที่เราสามารถเอามาใช้ได้ในการที่เอามาขยายตัวนี้นั่นเองทันไหมเอ่ยทันไหม Okay? Are you following?
ทันค่ะ
โอเค งั้นลองทำ exercise ตรงนี้ดูนิดหนึ่ง Just look at these 6 sentences here and choose what you would like to use นะครับ between who, which or that ทำด้วยกันก็ได้ครับ ช่วยๆกันทำเนาะ What you want to use in each sentence here.
The dish that most visitors associate with the UK is fish and chips.
Okay, so you use which, right?
That.
Okay, that. Okay. Any other answers for other items?
The Mediterranean diet, which is based on olive oil, is now considered to be very healthy.
What do you say again? Which? Okay.
Food which are frozen or tinned are never as tasty as fresh food.
Okay. Food which, huh? All right.
Foodie is a name used today in the UK for people who really enjoy eating.
Okay.
Turkey, which is where Europe meets Asia, is an important bridge between cultures.
Okay. So Turkey, which, okay.
Gourmet and Epicurean are people who see food as a serious hobby.
Okay. Gourmets and Epicureans are people who see food as a serious hobby. Okay. Let's see. Yay, that's right. นะครับ Yay นะครับ you got everything correctly. Now, so the first one now, so you can see this one, which you can use that as well. No, you can use that as well, and you can wish here. Which here can be used as well. Who here, and which here. Okay, so you got everything correctly. So yay นะครับ so I just want to give you some ideas. Now, I just want you to give some ideas that when can describe foods. Now, we can describe in terms of different things like food ingredient and cooking methods, and also you can just use these things. Now, say use relative pronouns in order to help you describe different kind of foods, different kind of dishes, whether in your own countries or in different countries. No, that's gonna be okay นะครับ for these things that you can use that to describe national dishes นะครับ okay, so that's the that's pretty much in general of this thing that we can talk about food. Okay, I hope it's not too heavy, you know. Are you okay with that? Just to give you some ideas, no? Are you okay? Are you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so I hope to just give you some ideas about that, and then you can just not too heavy for you. And I understand it's you might be exhausted already. Okay, no? So it's I don't think you have anything further to add as well, right? I know that you are quite tired. So okay, thank you very much. And for the time being, if we to change to do the to go for the physical classroom, so I'll let you know. But we basically remain online นะ our classes will remain online นะครับโอเคเนาะขอบคุณมากเลยนะทุกคนนะครับแล้วก็อย่างที่ครูบอกก็คือคลาสของเราก็จะเป็นออนไลน์อย่างนี้แหละแล้วก็we change platform just a little bit เนาะเราก็จะเปลี่ยนแพลตฟอร์มไปใช้แบบนี้นะครับก็คือแบบมันก็จะแปลกๆตาหน่อยนิดนึงอะไรแบบนี้นะครับก็คือเพราะเราใช้ตัวนี้เพราะว่ามันมีปัญหาเรื่องกับ Google นิดนึงอะไรแบบนี้นะครับเราก็จะใช้ตัวนี้แหละเป็น main now we're gonna use this one as a main platform for our online classes โอเค
อาจารย์ค่ะ
โอเค
ครับผม
คือขอถามนิดนึงว่าแบบformative ที่จะสอบสัปดาห์หน้าค่ะมัน
ไม่ใช่สัปดาห์หน้าครับ formative จะไปสอบสัปดาห์ที่8
สัปดาห์ที่8เหรอคะ
ใช่ครับจะสอบสัปดาห์ที่8นะ formative จะสอบสัปดาห์ที่8ครับ
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
โอเค don't worry about that ครับ formative จะสอบสัปดาห์ที่8ครับยังไม่มีอาทิตย์หน้า next week we're gonna study and the week after you have days off เนาะ right week ที่7เราหยุดเนาะนะครับ and formative test ก็คือเดี๋ยวก็จะมีเวลาเตรียมตัวอะไรอย่างนี้เข้ามาแล้วก็จะ cover ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างเข้าไปในสัปดาห์หน้าดู activities อะไรอย่างนี้เข้าไปโอเคOkay, so if you don't have anything further, I hope you enjoy the class. Now, I hope the class will be useful to you to a certain extent, okay? And thank you very much. And I can let you go now. Go and eat, now, relax, and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Thank you very much for participating in this class. And I hope it won't be heavy for you guys, okay? I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.